It's entirely possible that someone alive today on Earth will be the first person to die on Mars. Imagine embarking on a one-way journey to another planet, knowing that you will never return to Earth. That's the reality that interplanetary travelers of the private company Mars One will face. Their bold mission involves settling on Mars for the rest of their lives, making it their new home among the stars. But it's not just private companies that have their sights set on the red planet. Elon Musk, the visionary billionaire behind SpaceX, with his boundless ambition, has expressed his desire to eventually meet his fate on Mars. His company is even planning return flights for their Mars journeys. However, Musk made it clear that the risks are incredibly high, and those who embark on the initial Mars flights must be prepared for the possibility of never returning to Earth. The stakes are undeniably high, and the truth is, if humanity ever reaches Mars, we have to come to terms with the fact that some of us might leave our final breaths on that distant planet. The allure of exploring new frontiers and expanding our presence beyond Earth is undeniably captivating. But we must also acknowledge the inherent dangers and sacrifices that come with such audacious endeavors. Mars beckons us with its mysteries and possibilities, but it demands our utmost courage and resilience. The question remains, are we prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice and become pioneers in the colonization of Mars? Only time will reveal the fate of those who dare to venture into the unknown. So, if a person did die on Mars, what would happen to their body? If left out on the Martian surface, a human body would last a very, very long time. On Earth, post-death destruction starts with decomposers, which move in fast and start using organic matter to fuel their own little lives. Mars has no biology that we know of. In the immediate aftermath of death, a body would still start to decompose there. The bacteria inside, transplanted from Earth, would go to work. If a dead body was left outside at the Martian equator, where temperatures sometimes reach pleasant enough highs during the day, this could go on for a few hours. Without an insulating atmosphere though, the planet cools quickly, and even balmy Martian nights are as cold as polar nights here. The body would freeze, stopping the work of the bacteria, and begin the slow, dry process of mummifying. Working against the preservation of the cold would be ionizing radiation, which destroys organic compounds and bathes Mars at levels unheard of on Earth. One plausible explanation for why we haven't found any traces of life on Mars is that the high levels of radiation there zapped any organic compounds into gases that show no trace of their former life. Eventually, radiation would do away with more of the body, but it would take eons. 100 million years from the first human death on Mars, it's possible that the person's bones could still be found. Being human, Mars colonists probably wouldn't just throw bodies out on the ground and leave them there. If a body was buried though, it would be even better preserved than if it were left on the surface. The conditions would still be cold and dry, but the body would be protected from radiation. To dispose of a body, Mars explorers or colonists would have to resort to cremation or deliberate decomposition. Either is possible. Mars One has already chosen cremation as its method for disposing of the dead. A cremation fire would require two resources that Mars missions are already looking to extract or manufacture on Mars: oxygen and fuel. But even if the settlement is not manufacturing fuel, there could be enough left over from the trip there to feed the fire. Besides Mars One, Mars-faring expeditions haven't been so clear-cut about their plans for death though. NASA presumably would use a similar approach to its current preparation for astronauts, contingency or death sims, in which astronaut Chris Hadfield has written, an entire team works through the basic questions: what to do with the corpse and its smell? How quickly will a body decompose? How should the person's family be notified? How should the PR team respond? Of course, we have to get to Mars first for any of this to be relevant, but planning ahead for end of life is always advisable. Guys, don't leave without hitting the like button to support our team, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more space videos.